What's up, everyone? Kane here, Captain of the Day's Pirates. Coming at you with a little bit of an impromptu video today. I am going to be trying to do some ranked gameplay as I kind of just talk to you guys just a little bit about kind of the matchup guides that I've been working on and am trying to compile um, kind of the content that's going to be included in them and why it's kind of taken me a bit of time to kind of get them knocked out. So I thought it'd kind of be best or maybe most enjoyable to kind of just bake this into a gameplay type of video. Hopefully, I don't misplay too much because I am talking at the same time, but we'll see how it goes. So here we're just on kind of starting out on the West ranked ladder again. The reset hit, and I haven't played too much since then. Was on the East ladder playing O9. Now O9 is on the West, and we're moving on to that. So yeah, like I said, primary conversation here is going to be kind of the content of the matchup guides. I'm going to be starting with Blackbeard as my first one, so kind of convenient that this was my first ranked opponent that I had queued up here. And then I want to get into Dofi, Purple Luffy, Shanks, many more, but the template and the format's going to be relatively the same overall. So I kind of wanted to kind of just throw out there what structure I had in mind and what I'm working with and kind of see if, maybe so far anyone had any additional thoughts or things you'd like to hear as we go. Oh, and Nell is another matchup we're definitely going to talk about. I know that's one that people really want to kind of master and get better at. So to that end, one second, let me think here about my turn. If you guys are enjoying the RP Luffy content and want to see these matchup guides the moment they come out, do please subscribe below if you haven't already. We are pushing for 500 subscribers on the channel, and then we are looking to do a small giveaway when we do hit that. So I would love to partake in that with y'all. So with the matchup guides, I'm going to have kind of a PowerPoint that walks through a lot of detail. And then I'm also looking to have kind of live gameplay examples that supports that. Not necessarily just a game where I beat that person, but like different decision paths where I've had to kind of where you kind of have to slow down and assess the situation and having a understanding of the big picture can really help you make a stronger, more informed decision a lot of the times. Um, so with that, the front half of it is going to be a decent amount of content around some things. So I'm going to kind of go through like their main deck list. So I'm going to go through kind of the winning Blackbeard deck lists and just kind of explain everything that's there, the core threats. Jesus Burgess is one of those examples, the ones we'll be talking about quite a bit. Laboon's also a card that we absolutely need to get off board. So those are some of the things to think about. And then I guess also kind of this is another one of those decision paths that for Teach specifically. Yes, we want to remove Laboon like 99.9% of the time. But also, if he's just going to play a Teach next turn, Laboon's not going to do anything for them. You know? Maybe they don't have a Teach. I haven't paid attention to their searches or what's going on. So that's on me. There's just one thing I want to throw out there. That being said, I am going to still throw in a 7K swing into Laboon. Then I'm probably just going to run out this Newgate, even though I don't get on play. Let's see what it does here. But yeah, we're going to go through kind of like Teach's main deck list, and then we're going to go through some of the other tech options and cards you might see. Like Jack is kind of a decision. There's a few other cards, for example. So every deck has those kind of tech choices. We talk a lot about the tech options that you have. So we're going to go through kind of their main deck list, the things that you're probably going to see in like almost every deck or, at least some of the most successful decks, and then go into the tech options and kind of what they mean for us. And then for us, I'm not going to necessarily focus on a deck list. You guys see me do deck lists, and if you get on the Discord, you can see my deck list anytime. What I'm working with, I have a whole bunch of other builds and packages that I want to test more than this kind of core build in the future too. So I'm not going to talk about the core deck list, but I am going to talk about tech. What cards, if you're going to locals and you're playing 2 to 3 teaches every week, what cards can you add to just make that feel better? Right? None of these decks, I'm going to kind of be relatively honest with kind of all the decks we faced, like relatively speaking, Teach is kind of tougher than others, you could say. Um, but I don't necessarily think it's like a doom or gloom. And I do think a skill difference comes into a lot of plays for a lot of these matchups. But I will try and be honest around like to the fact where Teach is not the easiest walk in the park matchup, especially if you're not playing Gold Rogers. But other matchups, I genuinely think we beat the crap out of Dofi. We beat Dofi like we did in the anime. We hit him hard and we get bigger than him. But that's just kind of part of it. So after I go through our options for tech, I'm going to go into kind of mulliganing. Relatively speaking, the mulligan strategy is kind of the same for most decks, right? So that might be repetitive as you go through all the different matchup guides. Oh, he let me have on plays here. Ooh. Um, he let me have on plays here. So we're going to um oh, it's only 6K. You messed up, bro. So that's something here with these Jesuses. Usually they get above 6K pretty quickly, but this one hasn't yet. So the fact that he let me have on plays for this turn, taking this opportunity to KO, that is massive. But that's something we'll talk about in the matchup guide. Uh, I am just going to go. Nope, that's not true. I am gonna go 7 in and not 6 because I want to play Anami, but I'm not going to double giant. I don't. There's no way I'll need to double giant next turn. So that's pretty good for us. But so we'll talk about Mulligan, and like I said, some of that will be repetitive. The first, second thought process and advantage and disadvantages to that specific matchup. Generally speaking, we are a deck that wants to go first. In some matchups, we do want to go second, so we'll talk a lot about that. And then each matchup, how that specifically kind of impacts. I have it kind of labeled as Journey to the Top as the next section after this. So the section after this will go into kind of our turns 1 through 5, our curve up to that 10 Don, and realistically, if we're kind of doing our thing and playing our game plan, we could win by turn 5 against a lot of decks. Oh, I didn't swing with my 10 kicks. I'm not paying attention. Oh, he just blocked. I'm just going to pretend he blocked. What did he even do with that last hit? Okay, let me. Sorry. No, he did block. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. That's fine. We're here talking about the matchup guides and what we're going to do. The fact that I'm having a whole second dialogue here is part of that. So don't mind that little mess up. Um, but to that end, oh, sorry, let me kind of regain my thought process here. He's not going to swing. Oh, he did swing with that. Okay. Here we do get out of this one by. Oh man. I refocus for just 1 second. Yeah, gotta do that. Get 2 more in hand. And then do this. Okay, we can salvage this. We're fine. We're actually like surprisingly fine. Unless he has like a perfect hand, but that's whatever. I'm kind of tilted. But the journey to the top is going to be those turns 1 to 5. Oh, there's my slideshow you got a preview of. Oops. So how'd that get over there? That's fine, whatever. Let's move over. Um, and then to that end, with the last piece of that, after the journey to the top, 1 to 10 down. Once you're at the 10 down curve, what are the things that you're thinking about? What are the plays that you need to be concerned about? And how do you kind of claw through these later turns, like turn 7, 8, 9, and some of the late game decisions, like this scenario against a couple 12K blockers. Um, so that's kind of everything that I have imagined. And then after I go through kind of that content, the second half of that video will go through examples, ideally. And collecting those examples, it's what's been taking the time. And then I need to learn I know how to do some basic editing, but I need to edit all this stuff together in a way that's, digestible. So that's where my thought process is at on this. Um, so if there's any content or specific questions that you have, um, that maybe you don't see encapsulated in that, definitely let me know. That's kind of just where I'm at with topics. Okay, let's see if we can win this game after I just threw away a 10k swing last turn like a doof. Um, so the thing here is that we do have access to Queen, and we do have active access to Yasa. That is interesting on both fronts. We also have swings. We also have to account for triggers. Okay, so let's start with 7. Man, that 10k was extremely punishing last turn. That should have been a life. It is what it is. So he does a 10. Okay. So now we go queen. See what happens. Cycle out. I want to keep my Roger. Cycle out a 1k, I guess. Get our Don back. Now the question is, do we want Bon Clay or Yasa? I'm going to play a little more defensively. Well, let's see here. If he plays another 12 drop, he swings 12 12. I have to stop one of them. Then he plays a 12 drop. He freezes my 12k again. If he swings both, he only has one blocker. I'm at 0 life. Just in case it matters, I am going to run out the Yasop and make my leader a little bigger. So I am. Imagine he just blocks this one, and we go on. So I might run a second game here. I kind of thought that conversation around the kind of template for the matchup guys would run a little bit longer. I also didn't expect to completely throw a game in the middle of it, but I kind of did. This game requires a lot of focus. I think that's something that really is maybe under. Uh, hmm. I mean, we save this, right? Okay. Keep the Usohachi. Oh wait, no, we had black hole. I almost fucked up. Okay, double Vasco Borsellino here is interesting. So we start first of all. How do we start? I think he's smart enough to not go to 0. I don't got on plays anyways. I think donning is better than rogering. Right? Well, hang on. Cards here. If he KO, then we have 8 Don, 4 attacks, 1 blocker, 3 cards. We math out from there, right? I think so. Stay with me. Surely we go here. Yeah, it's he blocks with the other Vasco shot. No. Okay. So now we put you got 8 down, 3, 3. We can go 9, 9, 12. 9 requires 3 cards. 9 requires 3 cards, but can't. Yeah. Okay. 3. Giving 3 cards. Great stuff. Okay, I guess I will try to run one more. Let's run one more and call it. Hopefully the queue is not too long. Beautiful. And let's get this uploaded as a one shot. And then yeah, I'm kind of working on the PowerPoints and information and everything, and kind of deciding on this templating and kind of the labels of the section has been what's been kind of holding me up relatively. It's also going to be a decent amount of work to finish compiling, but I've been kind of holding up on that. So Vegapunk was not the yellow deck I expected to see. That's fine though. We want first, and we'll keep. Come on, ranked. Update. Turn one Atlas. So I kind of got focused in here on these decisions. So he did get a trigger. Is that what happened? Yeah, triggered Nami. That's fine. I was wanting to play the Mr. Tube, and I kind of realized it was my only counter in hand, so I decided not to do that. So I can 1k out of Ace Wing. Um, Maybe a little defensive, but with the fact that I have no other counter in hand, I'm looking to play a Newgate next turn. Kind of seems all right. Or they'll just swing for 8, and that hurts anyways. Lead effect. I don't have a 2k either. Sheesh. Now we check the board because we don't want to give him that trigger, and we want to get the 6k body off board. This is kind of funny. So hear me out. What are the chances Roger just wins next turn? We're gonna find out together, and that's gonna be how we end the video. How's that sound, guys? Oh wait, I should have trashed the life. Oh, I'm a clown. Oh no, I fumbled twice on. Wait, that's what I just said out loud that I was gonna take the life, and then did. And I got rid of my threats. I am going crazy out here. Um, that's fine. That's fine. We're totally and utterly fine. Because we're now just gonna do everything we've ever wanted. Like it's completely fucking fine. Whatever. Roger next turn. Wow. Okay. Apparently I can't talk about other things and also try and talk to y'all. Cause Geesh. I think I'm fine here. Probably not. It's fine if I lose. Um, sure. Um, giant. Well, realistically speaking, what does this mean for us? So this is when you slow down when countering, kind of think through where you're at, right? So they have 8 down. 9's coming in. This puts me to 0. Scary. Ah. But either way, I'm not in great shape if I cycle one of my 1Ks. I'm not in great shape if I cycle Gold Roger. And this is their biggest natural swing. If they want to swing this hard at me with Frankie, they need to put half their Don on Frankie to swing 9 at me again. Or if Shaka's only 3, that means they go down a blocker. So I'm going to take this. And we've been rewarded greatly with a 2K. Now the secondary item to consider here is that if we use both of our Gum Gum Giants, we are no longer going to be able to utilize Roger next turn. And that might be fine if they're swinging blockers at us like so. So the first one we get out of, and we can afford to part with a 1K and keep our Roger at this point because we have our secondary giant if they are to go into us with that. Go here, we go here, and we resolve. And that's a free 2K. He puts a thing into his life with his leader effect, and we win with Roger. Excellent. So this is what I meant when I said it last turn. Totally. I mean, they may have had enough 2Ks. Oh, that's kind of a funny last life to have in this situation. Um, it's not really going to matter. Because we are going to slam Roger. You can't block now. Give you 8. I actually wonder if Gear 5 would have got there. So we got 8, 10, 7, 7 through all the rest of it. Probably. That's so funny that I literally said that I was going to take the life off Lin Lin and YOLO it and then didn't. So hopefully they don't stall out too long because this is going to be the kind of the end of the gameplay today. But yeah, I'm compiling PowerPoints and starting to cut together gameplay for every matchup. I guess eventually Vegapunk needs to get in there as well. And kind of where I imagine this is with this '09 baseline. I think for the next few sets, our deck isn't going to go through as big of a change as it did with this one. Kind of hope that's the case, relatively speaking. But a lot of the concepts of the matchup will stay the same, of course. And I'm definitely open and willing and will put together kind of additional um, guides or things that as future sets come out, right? If new matchups come up, matchups change drastically, right? Like if a deck like us, right, or Purple Luffy after their starter deck, or Dofi after their starter deck, when that stuff happens, I'll definitely kind of do a revisiting type of conversation. GG. But I'm hoping that these guides will be very thorough in giving the baseline of these matchups and the deck and what you need to be thinking about. I love that both of these games that I featured today, I made like blatant mistakes, or I kind of like, I guess, actually pretty bad when I got rid of both my top end threats. But it ended up working out, so it is what it is. Um, but yeah, I was glad. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you aren't subscribed, please do. 500 ASAP is the goal, and then continuing to grow from there. And I just really appreciate the time that you give me. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. Talk to y'all soon. Captain of the Days Pirates out.